Hi, I'm Tara. I'm one half of the Thirsty Thrifters here on YouTube. We are resellers on eBay and Poshmark. I'm starting a new video series called Sold and Shipped. So it's kind of a ship with me, kind of a what sold. And I'm going to show you what we packed up and shipped out from December 3rd through December 6th. Just to give you some reference, we currently have about 1,200 active listings on both platforms. We sourced most of our items from the Goodwill bins or our regular Goodwills around Indiana, and we ship between 6 to 12 items per day. So that just gives you some reference of where our business is right now. So let's get started seeing what we shipped out. So we're starting out with things shipped Saturday, December 3rd. First up, this was on sale. This is a Sundance top I got on my local Goodwill quite a while ago, so it was part of a half-off sale on eBay. I think I paid about $4.50 for it, and it sold for $15 half off. That took almost a year to sell. Next is a Cacique bra. I buy these pretty much every time I see them at the bins. This was listed in September, and I took a $15 offer. Cacique is the intimates line from Lane Bryant, and I usually will only buy these at the bins. This cost me less than $1, I would believe. My bins are $1.59 a pound. Next is this T. Alexander Wang sweater. I found this at the bins also. It was not very heavy, so probably $1, $1.20 for it. This is not a very popular brand, so I accepted a $25 offer. It was only listed for a couple months. Next up is CP Shades. This is a great brand. It's usually made of linen. This had been listed for a couple months also, but it was out of season. I accepted an offer for $34 on this item. It was from the bins and cost less than $1. I think we're switching over to Poshmark. Yes, so this is a Nike pullover hoodie. This had been listed for quite a while. This was something Dave listed before I took over that job, so this would have been in March or April of this year, so listed about 9 months. It was a full price sale though for $25, so that's a good return on this thing that I think was from the bins. Next is a coat that I think I also got from the bins. Almost everything we get is from the Goodwill outlet. It was a wool double-breasted Pendleton coat. It was vintage. It had this brooch that came with it. Don't think it came with it originally, it just was on the coat. I had it listed for, let me see, since June, so that'd be 6 months. So I took a $25 offer. It was actually just listed for $40. You can see I struggled some with packing it. I had to lint roll it and find a box that would fit it. It was pretty bulky. Next up is a St. John Santana knit skirt. I found this at my local Goodwill, so I paid about $4.50 for it. It was a size 10. It sold in actually less than a day for the full asking price of $30. This is a Torrid sweater, and I had this listed for just a month and a half or so and took an offer of $19. It was a size 0, which is in their line equivalent to about a size large, not actually plus size, so I was happy to get that amount for this sweater. If I hadn't sold it, I was probably going to try to wear it eventually. And we're on to Monday. What would that be, the 4th? Monday, we have to pack up all the weekend's worth of items. So we're back to eBay. This is a rainbow check vintage sweater that I think I got at the Goodwill outlet, but it has been quite a while since I listed it, almost a year, and it was part of our half-off sale and sold for $19.99. I usually will get these unique sweaters like this at the bins and give them a shot. They're not always guaranteed to sell. It's sometimes about 50-50, but luckily this one sold and I made a profit. Next is a is it Joseph A. Bank or Joss A. Bank? I don't know how to say this. I hardly ever buy this brand. This was a camel hair blazer, though, size 46R, which is not too small. And it sold pretty quickly. I think I was like under a week for $50.99. You can see, I think I tried to put it in one bag. No, that was a different thing. Packed it up just fine. Shipped it out. What's next? These are, okay, Kookaburra by Uggs. This was something I was testing out to see if I could sell it. And these were actually listed for close to a year. So that test did not go well. I am not buying these anymore. That's the only one I had of this brand. It's a subline of Uggs, which I will buy, but I'm not buying the lower end line like this. I also had a $2, not $2, I had a 2-pound, I had put it as 2 pounds to ship, and then when I put them in the box, it was more than 2 pounds. So I ended up bubble wrapping them, putting them in bags, and putting them in an envelope. I've never done that before with boots, but these are, these soft boots. So I'm going to hope they get there just fine. I just didn't want to spend any extra of my little profit on shipping these out. Those are from the bins and probably cost about $2.50 or so. Next up is these men's Birkenstocks. These were only listed a month and a half or so, but they're out of season. So I took a $20 offer on them. They were listed for $30. They're not in the best condition, but not in the worst condition by far. And they were a pretty good size, I believe. 45, which is a men's 12 to 12.5. If I hadn't been able to sell them, I'm sure Dave would have taken them. But luckily, I got my $20. These at the bins cost probably $2 or so. Next up is a Spanx shapewear dress. This is actually from a flip lot. I am a pro seller on Flip. I had gotten out of selling for quite a while, but got back into it. I have to split my profits with the person who sent me the items, but I paid nothing. So I probably profited about $8 or $9 on that. This is Carbon to Cobalt. I will pick up this brand now at the bins, but that's about it. It used to sell pretty fast, and now it has slowed down. This shirt was listed since March or April, because Dave listed it himself, not me. And finally sold for $19. And probably paid $1 for it at the bins. So it's pretty good profit. Next is a Jamaica shirt. This is a random thing. I believe we got it at 99-cent day at our local Goodwills. They don't even have those anymore. That's how long it's been. Dave listed this, so it was in March or April. And it sold in our half-off sale for $7.50. Glad to see it go. But we're not going to probably experiment on those weird vintage tank tops anymore. I think we're going back to Poshmark. Yes, these are Fabletics seamless leggings. This was in a flip lot also. So I got to split the profits with the person who sent them in. I will only buy Fabletics if they are a larger size, probably large and above, and definitely have the tag in them. Next we have the Escada shirt. This is a shirt I found at a local Goodwill. I paid about $5 for it, but it was silk and it had this tiger print on it. I've sold this twice. It got sent back the first time. They thought it had a weird color transfer on it, but it didn't. Sold for $61 second time around. These are Madewell jeans. These have a rip in the leg, but I still thought I could sell them. They were just from the bin, so they cost about $1. And it says they sold for $25, but I had sent an offer for $15 with discounted shipping. I guess that didn't work out, and I just got a full price sale. Works for me. This is a brand I had never heard of. I saw it at my Goodwill in my town. I paid the full price, which I think is $7 for them. It's called Kimes Ranch, Kimes. It's a Western brand. They sold the same day I listed them for full price. This is a spider pullover shirt. We found it at the bins. It's very lightweight, so it probably cost about $1. It had not been listed very long. Let's see, I listed it at the end of November, so just a couple weeks to sell that, and it sold for $17. Spider's a fairly decent brand. I'll buy if it's in good condition. Next is the Aspen Ugly Christmas Sweater. We had this for quite a while. I think Dave listed it, so that'd be March or April it was listed, and it had a moose Fair Isle print on the front. I just thought it was cute. I can't remember if we got it at our Goodwill or the bins. So it would have cost anywhere from $1 to $5 and sold for $12. Not something I'm going to buy very often. This is also an older item that Dave listed himself, so listed in March or April. This Nike Kids hoodie. We no longer buy Nike or Under Armour or things like that in kid sizes. It just doesn't get us much profit. And you can see this sold for $9 with a shipping discount. So our profit was $4.33 before I even take out the cost of goods. This grumpy sweater, I believe I got at the bins. This had a really soft, thick lining, so it'd keep you really warm. And if it didn't sell, I was going to keep it because that is the dwarf that describes me the most. It sold for full price of $25. It had been listed for almost 2 months. I think we're switching back to eBay. Nope, this is still Poshmark. These are Sorel wedge boots that I found, and they were in the last haul we did. They sold the same day, maybe even the same hour I listed them for $63. I had them listed for $70 and they sold with like the first offer I sent. Definitely a good style and good brand. Now we're on to Tuesday. Did I put that in right? It's Tuesday. The first thing is this sweater. This is the item I had listed, I think, the longest in my whole closet, but I just knew somebody had to buy it. It's a vintage wool sweater with flying ducks on it. It had been listed for over a year. I relisted it one final time, and somebody sent me a $25 offer, and so I accepted. I love these wool sweaters with unique patterns, but sometimes they do take quite a while before they will sell. This is the one I put in the regular envelope and realized it was just too big and bulky, so I put it in a box. Luckily on Poshmark you can use any priority boxes or envelopes, doesn't matter. Now we have another Torah. This is another one that's at size 0, so it's basically a size large. It had been listed for 7 months, so I was sending out very low offers on it. This was $15 with a shipping discount. I believe this was from the bins though, so it probably cost me $1 to $2. Still made a profit. These were also in my last, our last video, haul video, the UGG sweater boots. When I looked up the comps, they weren't as great as I thought. I had them listed for $50 and they sold almost immediately. Somebody sent me the $42 offer and I accepted. So I will get Uggs from the bins that are in good condition, just not their diffusion lines. And Uggs pretty much will always sell. I think we're going back to eBay now. And these are Merrell's. I'm trying to figure out how long we had these listed. Since October. And Merrell is, I would say, a very consistent seller. I almost always will sell them at some point. I almost never have to pull them out of inventory for being too stale. These sold for $27 and were from the bins, so cost about $2. Then we have a jumpsuit from Fabletics, which I did not know existed. This is from that same flip lot, and I had them listed for $60. I got this $45 offer, so I accepted. And after flip fees and sharing the profit, I probably get about $15 from that, just for being the seller. This is a Polly Flinders vintage kids dress. This is like the one kids thing I really watch out for, is these vintage dresses that are smocked on the front. They almost always do fairly well. I mean, this is $20 and it probably cost me 50 cents from the bins. And this was one that came in right at the end after I'd already packed up everything else. American Eagle kick boot jeans. These are the older tag. They were in my last haul, but they were plus size, and the boot cut are coming back in. So I thought I'd give them a chance, and they sold for $19 very quickly. If you're so inclined, please do all the YouTube things, the likes and the comments and the subscribing. I'll be trying to put out these videos a couple times a week. Good night.